time of that meeting, we have had 4 additional candidates who have filed formally for that seat. And so tonight, we're going to call on all 4 of them to speak to you. Again, the order of speaking is alphabetical. Each candidate has 3 minutes to speak. And we're going to start off with Patrick Hope.
Good evening. My name is Patrick Hope, and I'm here tonight to seek your support for the Democratic nomination for the 47th District of the House of Delegates. I share your progressive values. Let me tell you why I'm running. When I became chair of the Arlington Community Services Board, I heard story after story from parents with children with intellectual disabilities and mental illnesses tell me that the one thing that keeps them up at night is what's going to happen to my son or my daughter when I die. Imagine that. The desperation of these families has moved me deeply. Let me tell you a story about a friend of mine named Jerry. Jerry's a 10-year resident of Arlington County. Jerry's also been homeless for those 10 years. Jerry's not thinking about getting a job. Jerry's worried about where he's going to sleep tonight. But keeping Jerry homeless costs Arlington taxpayers about $140,000 a year. Why? Because Jerry goes from shelter to shelter. Occasionally he gets picked up by the police and he spends some time in an institution or a hospital. And then several days later he's released back out on the streets. And thus the merry-go-round continues. But we could place Jerry to a home called through the Housing First program, a program which I was a leading advocate to help create, that would house Jerry and many others like him for a fraction amount of what we spend for Jerry today. And Jerry can get on the road to recovery. I'm going to Richmond to fight in all the Republican policies that discriminate against our most vulnerable populations, to stand up for families with disabled children, to stand up for senior citizens, to stand up for all the Jerrys, and all of those and speak for those who can't speak for themselves. And it's time their voices were heard. As community board chair, services board chair, I have successfully built coalitions, built grassroots network. I've brought people together at both the regional, local, and state levels to push lawmakers to reverse this trend where Virginia ranks near the bottom in the nation in funding for health and human services. As a result, I've helped bring millions of dollars into Arlington and the rest of the state to help our most vulnerable. Now, make no mistake about it, we will elect a Democrat for this seat. But who we choose is much, much more important. We need someone with a proven leadership skills, someone who's not afraid to stare down the Republicans and fight for our most vulnerable. I'm not afraid to stare down the Republicans. Are you? Are you afraid to stare down the Republicans? My fellow Democrats, I would be privileged and honored to represent the 47th District. If you agree with me that the time is now to put the needs of our most vulnerable populations first, then I ask that you support in your vote on June 9th. To learn more about my campaign, please visit my website at www.hopefordelegate.com or visit with me this evening. Thank you for your time and consideration, and now it's on to Richmond, on to victory. Thank you.
Our next candidate for the 47th District seat is Howze.
Hi, good evening. My name is Howze, and I stand before you as a candidate for the 47th District's Democratic nomination. And I see here in the audience tonight some old friends, Charlie in the back and others, and a lot of new friends. And I look forward over the course of this campaign to getting to know each of you and to introduce myself and what I stand for and why I think I'm the best choice to represent Arlington in the General Assembly, along with the other very strong members of the Arlington delegation. So who am I, and why am I in this race? So I'm actually an Arlington native. I was born at Arlington Hospital and grew up in the Clarendon area, moved away and deep roots deeper into the Arlington community. We've grown more and more fond of it. So 8 days ago, I wasn't even thinking about running for the House of Delegates. So I'll be honest with you about that. It wasn't even really on my mind. I had worked in politics before. I worked for Rick Boucher in Southwest Virginia on Capitol Hill. I worked for Governor Warner to help get him elected, and then worked for him in his administration. And then had left politics for a little while to focus on some other stuff. But as I've watched the crisis that has engulfed not only our country but our state, I think this is a time where we need bold leadership. We need decisive action. We need new ideas. We need new leadership. And so I think that I can bring that sort of leadership to Richmond to represent Arlington with a progressive voice, to bring clean energy and green jobs. My daughter in the back. So I think we can put those, the combination of the public service and the private sector experience to work to build a better Arlington, to build a better Virginia, to build a better nation. So I can't talk as fast as Terry would call it. So we won't try to speed up and fit everything that I think and everything that I stand for in 3 minutes. But again, I look forward to the opportunity to hear your concerns, to talk with you on an individual basis as you go around the district, as I talk with you. And if you have any questions, concerns, issues, I would love to hear that as we move forward in this campaign. My website, www.alanhowze.com. You can reach me there, and I'll be reaching out to you. Thank you very much.